Hey guys! Welcome to another episode of Millennial Nation. We're just gonna jump right into it today. We're talking about hashtag election 2016. It's very important as we as millennials to get your voice heard. Don't you agree, Abigail?
Because your future is at stake, so come on.
Yes, so we'll just jump right into the topics that we have. What was one of the top trends this week was actually Senator Hillary Clinton visiting Black Girls Rock. Exactly. So, Abby, what do you think about that? Some people, they were kind of giving her the eye, like, what were you doing at an event like that? What were you doing at an event like that? What do you think?
Okay, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I wasn't one of those people giving her the eye, but I was like, really? Because I don't know if they invited her. They probably did.
Well, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
So she seems like the type of person that's not going to show up uninvited. So I believe they invited her. But I believe why everyone was kind of giving her the side eye was because that's the place where Black women are being honored. And she made a comment saying that the world is better with...
The world is a stronger place.
It's a stronger place with Black women. And I believe that if some... powerful Caucasian women wasn't alive, then most of these organizations would not have started. Because even look at the Iron Lady.
Yes.
She helped Great Britain, and even if you look at Hillary Clinton, of course, she stuck by her husband.
You know what? The bottom line is that we all need each other.
We all need each other. That's the bottom line.
We all need each other. But I do want to point out that an organization like Black Girls Rock started because we weren't seeing women of color in the media being nominated and being honored. So, I just do want to put out there that I do appreciate organizations like this because it is needed. However, I do want to say that I think that all girls rock.
Exactly.
And I honestly didn't have a problem with Hillary being there. I mean, if she wants to, be there to...
Yeah, I mean, I believe that if she wanted to,
she was actually there to say a couple of words. She was actually there to honor another woman of color that was being honored there.
Oh,
so I know it was a huge thing.
I wasn't
necessarily upset with it.
I wasn't upset, but it was definitely hard for me to see all of the individuals like Rihanna. I saw her there, and all of the other fellow women of color giving her the side eye. Is that the same? I mean, come on, we all give side eyes, don't we? Don't we? But it was hard for me to see that because because I definitely believe that the women of color are strong, and of course they may inwardly feel like, hey, why am I not getting nominated for Oscars and stuff like that? But definitely giving side eyes to people, that's not the character that we want to portray, knowing that we already have that stigma of women of color wearing weaves and tight-fitted clothing and fake behinds and boobs. Because, not all Black women can sing. Because that's another stigma that people have of us, that just because we're Black we can sing. Not everyone can belt out like Mariah Carey, you know. So I believe that wasn't a good character to show for women of color. At
the same time, I mean, that's true too, but people are entitled to feel how they want to feel,
of course.
And people did feel like, oh my gosh, what is she doing here? Because I actually did read a tweet when someone said, oh, well, where was she when all the other times Black Girls Rock?
Exactly.
Because that was her first appearance at the show, and some people thought, are you just here to get votes? Which honestly, I do think that was another plus for her.
That was another
She is aiming for the African American vote. Let's just be real. As a matter of fact, all the candidates are vying for that vote.
Because
and I do want to get into another topic that's really been important, and we're actually going to talk about Bernie Sanders and why he's so popular with
us,
people our age, the millennials. And I think it's because he's really talking to our issues. He's talking to our issues.
We
can understand him. He's not using these big words. He's just very direct. And that's why we are really on this train.
That's why.
And more specifically, he's talking about how students, we all know about this whole student loan debt burden.
Exactly.
And how high it's
and how
much, people are really suffering because of that. And so he wants to propose He wants to make college tuition free.
Now,
a lot of people believe that it's not possible, but I mean, come on, a lot of things don't seem possible until you make it happen. Okay, so we millennials appreciate that because school is expensive.
It's expensive, and also what I love what Senator Sanders said was that he definitely wants us millennials to have opportunities after we graduate.
Yeah.
Because that's important, because how else is America going to thrive?
Yeah.
Because once the older generation is dead and gone, we are left.
We are the future.
We are the future.
The millennials are the future, and we need candidates who are going to speak to our problems, our issues that we are facing. We don't need any puff and fluff. We don't need any empty promises. Just tell me what you're gonna do, and how you're gonna do it, and then I can relate to you.
And then I can relate to you.
Yeah, and so let's jump into another one. Also, he feels that if you're paying health insurance, you should not have to pay a copay. Why should you have to pay? Okay, let's break this down. You're paying a health insurance bill every month.
Exactly.
You may not go to the doctor every single month, but you still have to pay.
Exactly.
So why, when you go to the get care and go to the doctor, why do you have to pay a small copay? I don't care how small it is.
You shouldn't have to.
$25, $35. You shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to.
If I'm paying my health insurance, that should be eliminated.
That should be eliminated.
And that is where I strongly agree with him on that issue.
Exactly.
How do you feel about that?
I definitely agree with you on that, because I'm a millennial, right?
Yes.
And I'm 17 years old.
Yes.
It's definitely discouraging for me to think that when I'm in my 30s or in my 40s that's the future that I'm gonna have to face.
Yeah.
Because that's unfair to me, because us Americans and people of this United States, we pay our taxes, and we help upkeep the United States, and we pay our health care.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have to worry about, now, can I not afford to get this shot or to even pay for my medication?
That's also a good point, because a lot of Americans are still not insured. I know that we have Obamacare, and I know that a lot of millions of Americans were covered, but it's still very expensive.
It's still
From my experience myself, I'm now uninsured because the premium when you go to healthcare.gov is so high. It's so expensive. And so I think that a candidate like Bernie Sanders, he will really see to it that more people are insured and covered, and that's very important. Healthcare is one of the most important issues in our country.
It is, because that's how we're all going to stay alive. Because it's sad to know that if you have an illness, that you can get care for it.
Yes.
So that's a very important fact
issue
to
bring up. And also on Bernie, and actually a New York Times opinion columnist, his name is Paul Krugman. He actually did this column about how Sanders is over the edge. And he basically took shots at him. He did state his opinion, and everybody has a right to their opinion. But he did say that Sanders is over the edge. And basically, I read the whole article. And basically, what he's saying is that Sanders is a dreamer. These things that he wants to happen, it really, it's kind of just a dream. And all these things that he's talking about probably can't even happen. So I know that's his opinion, but
that's his opinions. But what I would like to say that if Dr. Martin Luther King did not have a dream, then black people would not be able to sit on a bus. And if Rosa Parks did not have the courage to sit down, then we would not be able to sit in the front row.
And that's just the fact.
That's the fact.
And Bernie Sanders, when he was younger, he actually watched the Martin Luther King Jr. speech live. He was there.
He was marching.
He was there,
and he got arrested
and
for that.
another reason why we're for Bernie Sanders is because we're voting for him.
We're voting for him.
He was with us before it was cool. He was marching with us and with our problems. I feel like he is a guy that genuinely, to his core, cares about people, period. He cares about African Americans. He cares about Latinos, all the minorities. He cares about people, period.
Everybody.
And that is why I think that he deserves our vote.
He deserves to.
And even now, we should really vote state by state. If your state is, up, you should really go out there and vote.
You should. Please vote.
Your voice needs to be heard. It's so important. And also in the primaries, we really need to vote.
We really need to vote.
That's the only how your voice gets heard.
Exactly. And another point, that if you're a fellow millennial, don't vote for a candidate just because you're favorite singer is voting for them.
You
have to have your own opinion, because your favorite singer, they're wealthy. They can pay for their own insurance, and they can pay.
That's true.
And they can even go back to college if they want.
Yeah.
But regular people like you and me, we have to work harder.
Yes, you want a potential president to really tackle your issues, these rich people's issues.
No,
they're wealthy.
They're wealthy.
You don't want them, to be buddied up with them, just to look great. No,
just
you don't want
good.
that.
You don't want that.
And that's what I feel like Hillary has been doing. She's been with these big CEOs. They're practically buying the election.
They're practically buying the election.
And say that.
Yes, say it,
they're practically,
Victoria. Yes. They're practically because
buying
at the same token, I don't want to see my president at a concert with Katy Perry, and I don't want to see them taking selfies with Kim Kardashian and Kanye West.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that we can't take selfies. See,
don't just do it. Like, in other words, don't just do it for the gram.
No,
don't just do it for social media.
Yeah.
Do it because you really want to make a difference in this world.
Yes.
Which brings me to, when it comes to being honest.
Yes.
Which candidate do you trust more? Which candidate does your heart go towards? Which candidate do you believe? Because let's just put this out there. People lie.
People lie. They
but
lie
who do you feel is speaking to your heart? Who was like, go on.
Victoria, tag me in. Okay, and I say this with full respect for all the candidates.
Yes.
But I definitely believe that Hillary, and I've been saying this for months, I don't trust her. Because for one, she's being investigated, and I don't know if by the FBI
for the Benghazi
and her emails, and I don't know that, and I don't know why. I just don't trust her because even when Obama was running for his presidency, I didn't hear any of that, and and even if there was, we would never know. But I'm not saying that there was. But even as we look at the Republican candidate Ted Cruz, I just don't trust him. Lying. I just don't trust him.
I'm sorry. I can't listen.
And I'm not hating on his character because I love that he has his Christian values. But he sounds too good to be true, and he's not proving that anything in his system works.
He's all talk.
He's all talk, and he has no. He doesn't even have no smoke on his cigar.
And to me, he doesn't really have enough of a track record.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean? And it feels like he just came up out of nowhere. Okay, I'm running for president.
And I'm running for president. You can't do that. And good, bad Donald Trump, even though he has employed individuals, he has said things that is very derogatory towards women. Because I feel like if I'm a woman who's been raped,
and to all races, period. He's been disrespectful to a lot of people. And you can't ignore that. You don't want a president who's going to be rude. Basically, okay, when you elect somebody for president, they're representing the United States, nation.
The United States.
How are we gonna look out there if a president like Donald Trump is in the office? Come on now, we're gonna be looking crazy.
Exactly.
We don't want that. So that is why we must vote.
We must vote.
Okay, vote. Feel the burn.
Feel the burn. Feel hashtag feel the burn.
Which is gonna correlate our question. I believe that Bernie's the most honest.
Bernie's the most honest, and at the same time, he is so down to earth. And I believe that if you were as a person,
I really connect with him.
That's
what. Even for me, when I look at a candidate, I want to connect with their story and where they come from. So I do encourage that you go to BernieSanders.com and really look up his story and see his background and where he came from. He was also once a young boy.
He was
also once young like us.
Yes, and he had a dream.
And he had a dream. Look at where he is now. So I think that is very inspiring.
That is very inspiring.
And so anything we can really take from that and really, let that power us up and also support a guy like that. He's a family man. He has 4 children, 7 grandchildren.
Yes.
And it's not even about age.
No, it's not about age.
But it's not about age.
It's not about age. Yes.
And even to think of it, to think down the road, you could be the next president.
You could be the next president.
But it all starts with making decisions and getting out and vote, making decisions every day where you're always making your voice heard. You're always talking. You're always voicing your opinion. No matter what people may think, it's not don't care.
Don't
it doesn't
care
matter
about
what
it. Doesn't
people
matter
think.
what
You're
people think.
respectful.
You're respectful.
But just get your voice
Just get
out
your
there.
voice out, because your decisions decide your wealth. And
yes.
if you want the future to be bright for you, and if you want to be able to buy yourself a meal without having to count your cents in your pockets,
it's about what you do every day.
It's about what you do every day.
You can't sit on the couch anymore.
You can't sit on
you
the
have
couch.
to get up and get involved in your life. This is your life.
This is your
not
life.
Your parents'
this
life.
is not your parents' life.
This is your life. What do you want to do?
What do you
we're
want to
going to
do?
leave you with that question.
What
are you
wanna
going to do to change the world?
Exactly.
Okay? We'll see you guys
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.